Good evening, everyone. It's truly an honor to be standing here before all of you officially installed as your rabbi. I'm not sure what the last 10 months we were doing, but tonight it's exciting to finally be a rabbi. It's an honor to share this evening with the Dages, to whom Rena and I have an incredible personal relationship with. And we thank them for all their incredible years of service for their community. We look forward, God willing, to many more years of working together to grow our beautiful community. Just by way of introduction, a few more thank yous. Thank you to my mother and to my sister for being here this evening, who, for better or worse, have been with me since the very beginning. Thank you to my mother and father-in-law for being here this evening, who flew in from St. Louis to be here. Thank you to Rabbi Glasser for your continued mentorship throughout this entire year, and God willing, for many more years to come. Thank you to my incredible wife, Rena, without whom nothing that I do would be possible, and of course to our beautiful daughter, Leora, who chose sleeping over being here this evening. And thank you to every single one of you for being here this evening and for being a part of our incredible and beautiful Young Israel Merrick family. What I would like to spend this evening discussing is attempting to synthesize and summarize the experience that we've had up until now over these past 10 months. In short, trying to understand where we have been, where we are, and where we're going. At every single one of your tables, you'll notice our beautiful Young Israel Merrick program guide that we released just a few weeks ago. And I hope that every single person in this room, thank you for holding it up. And I hope that every single one of you in this room has the opportunity to spin through the pages, to flip through them, to build a sense of pride for the beautiful community that we have built, because there certainly is a lot to be proud of. But if you just take a look at the front cover, if you can't open the front page and you just want to take a look at the front cover for a moment, the words in the front read, Young Israel Merrick, empowering the individual, building the club. And we placed this slogan here as we went to print this beautiful guide without any introduction, without any explanation of why these words were here, knowing with the intention that this evening we could explain their presence on our guide. And it's a beautiful line, it's somewhat poetic, but the truth is we have to ask, why is it that this slogan so perfectly encapsulates the beautiful community that we have? You know, in just a few weeks, we'll be reading about the triumphant victory that the Jewish people experienced as they were freed from the bondage of the Egyptians, and as they experienced the symphony of powers of the Kadosh Baruch Hu, as He saved them, as He freed them from Mitzrayim. And we know that all the incredible powers of HaKadosh Baruch Hu were channeled through one specific leader, through Moshe Rabbeinu. And we know so well that so many of our texts, so many of our traditions teach us about the greatness of Moshe Rabbeinu from when he was born. From day one, so many of our texts teach us how unique and how special he was. One Gemara in particular that we've learned together. Gemara in Sota Yud Beis Amud Aleph that speaks of his greatness when he was first born. Rabbi Nechemia Omer, it was said that he was great. Why? Because Hagam L'Nevius, because he was prepared from day one to be a prophet. Achirim Omrim, a second perspective offered by the Gemara, Nolad Kishavu Mahu. He was born already circumcised. And finally, a third opinion offered by the Chachamim Omrim, B'Shah Shenolad Moshe. When Moshe Rabbeinu was born, Nesmalei Habayas Kulo Or. The entire house was filled with light, and in theory, even the entire world was filled with a new added light because Moshe Rabbeinu, the to-be leader of the Jewish people, was finally born. And while we know that he was born to be so special, to be so unique, to be such an incredible person, it happens to be that when the time came where he was meant to take up the mantle of his leadership, He had no interest in doing so. HaKadosh Baruch Hu had to push him until finally Moshe Rabbeinu said, I will lead the Jewish people, I will do as you ask. And I believe that HaKadosh Baruch Hu used no less than 5 steps, 5 tools, 5 strategies, in order to convince Moshe to take the mantle of leadership that he was always meant to take. And if you'll indulge me, I would like to briefly analyze these 5 steps. Step number 1, the first thing that HaKadosh Baruch Hu did for Moshe Rabbeinu, he presented him with the burning bush, the snare that could not be consumed. He showed Moshe Rabbeinu an incredible product. And by showing him that incredible product, Moshe Rabbeinu was reeled in to want to engage in conversation with HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Step number 2, the second strategy that HaKadosh Baruch Hu used was that he showed a genuine care, a genuine love for Moshe Rabbeinu. The pasuk tells us, "Vayikra Elav Elokim mitoch hasneh vayomer Moshe Moshe." HaKadosh Baruch Hu repeats Moshe's name twice, and the Mefarshim want to know why it is that Moshe Rabbeinu's name is repeated twice. And many give the answer that it's because of HaKadosh Baruch Hu's tremendous endearment, because of his incredible love for his child Moshe, that he said his name twice. HaKadosh Baruch Hu, with step number 2, expressed how much he loved his son Moshe. Step number 3, and this is an important one, HaKadosh Baruch Hu gave Moshe the opportunity to become the leader that he was always meant to be, when the pasuk tells us, "V'otzei et ami b'nei Yisrael miMitzrayim." HaKadosh Baruch Hu says to Moshe, you will be the one, you will be the person to redeem my people from the land of Egypt. Step number 4, HaKadosh Baruch Hu says, inevitably, as you lead the nation as you are destined to, you will experience feelings of loneliness and doubt. And in those moments, I want you to know, Ki Ehyeh Imach, I will always be with you. HaKadosh Baruch Hu guarantees Moshe that he will always be with him, he will always be standing next to him, so that even when he feels his most lonely, he will always have HaKadosh Baruch Hu next to him. And step number 5, and this is an important one as well, HaKadosh Baruch Hu tells Moshe, you are meant to be a leader. But you have to understand that true leadership does not come from the outside, but rather the inside. So I want you to know, says Hashem to Moshe, that the power and the potential to lead has always been inside of you. But he does this by telling Moshe Rabbeinu to give signs to the Egyptians. But the words that the Psukim use to tell him how he is meant to express these signs to the Egyptians are using the word Yad. Be Yad. With your hand, Moshe Rabbeinu. HaKadosh Baruch Hu tells Moshe, take your hand with the stick that you're holding, drop the stick on the floor and it will become a snake. Take your hand, Moshe, pull it to your chest, pull it out, you'll see tzaras. And in these 2 ways will the Egyptians know that you are a man of God, that you are the leader of the Jewish people, and that you are destined to redeem them. They will know this because you will finally understand that the power of redemption, that the power of leadership comes from within, with your own Yad. And it's with these 5 steps that HaKadosh Baruch Hu eventually convinces Moshe to take up this mantle of leadership to redeem the Jewish people from the land of Egypt. Now every single person in this room knows that none of us are Moshe Rabbeinu, and none of us are HaKadosh Baruch Hu. But you have to wonder why it is that the Torah Kadosha would be sharing these lessons with us, if not to teach us, not to impart to us an important lesson. And I believe that that lesson is that after reading through these psukim, after reading through the back and forth that Moshe Rabbeinu and HaKadosh Baruch Hu share, we know 2 things. Number 1, we know how to become leaders. And number 2, we know how to create leaders. By using these 5 steps, these 5 tools that HaKadosh Baruch Hu imparted to Moshe Rabbeinu, by using these 5 techniques, that's how leaders are born. And the truth is, if you reflect on these psukim, you will notice that there is an incredible parallel between these same 5 steps that HaKadosh Baruch Hu used to empower Moshe that we in the Young Israel America have been using since our inception. Allow me to carry over these same 5 steps so that we can understand them in a language that's more apropos, that's more fitting for our beautiful young Israel family. Step number 1, we are a shul that presents an incredible product to the world. We have incredible learning opportunities, incredible shiurim, incredible programming, incredible services. Everything in our shul is amazing and exciting all the time. We present an incredible product to the world, and by that people are drawn in. That's step number 1. Step number 2, much like HaKadosh Baruch Hu shared with Moshe that he loved him and he cared for him so deeply, so too every single member and every single extended member of our Young Israel family receives specialized, individualized attention so that we can show how much we care about every single one of you. Step number 3, HaKadosh Baruch Hu gives Moshe the opportunity to lead, and there is not a single shul on the face of the earth that offers more opportunities for leadership like the Young Israel of Merrick. If you want to be a laner, you can lane. If you want to daven, you can daven. If you want to give a shear, you can give a shear. If you want to run a program, you can run a program. If you want to do anything, our Young Israel offers you the opportunity to take up the mantle of leadership and to go with whatever you want to do. Step number 4, when the HaKadosh Baruch Hu tells Moshe that he will never be alone, so too in our shul. Through good times and bad times, we know in our Young Israel of Merrick family that we are never alone, that we are always together, supporting one another. And step number 5, when HaKadosh Baruch Hu tells Moshe that the ability to lead and the power to lead has been within him the whole time in his yad, so too the ability and the powers to lead are within each and every one of your hands. And that is a message that our Young Israel has been sharing since its inception. Said simply, we are a shul that has been empowering individuals, empowering leaders for over 30 years. And it's in our ability to empower every single individual, every single person that has ever stepped foot in the Young Israel of Merrick that allows us in turn to build the klal. On the one hand, we build the klal internally. That is to say that as a single entity, as a single community, we are constantly striving to grow closer to HaKadosh Baruch Hu. But on the other hand, we are also building the klal from an external standpoint, that because of the beauty that our shul exudes, because of these lessons and messages that our shul shares, we will also merit, to God willing, build our community by inviting many families to move to our shul. You know, our shul is a bastion for exciting initiatives, exciting activities, exciting programming. There is always something special happening at our Young Israel Merrick. And in these past 10 months, Rena and I have worked tirelessly to help build up our shul, to create the vibrant and exciting energy that we have right now. We've worked tirelessly to put our shul on the map. We've worked tirelessly to make Merrick and the Young Israel of Merrick household names that people from near and afar will know as an option for a place that they can come, settle down, and live here. And the excitement that can be felt is palpable. It feels like every other week, every other day, I get a text, I get a Facebook message, I get an email, I get a call. Someone else is interested in checking out our community. Someone else is interested in moving to the beautiful community of Merrick. And the reason why is because of this message that our shul has always been sharing, has always been exuding, that we empower individuals and we build the klal. That is the tagline that encapsulates our community. That is who we are. That we encourage others to take up the mantle of leadership, and in so doing, we are able to build our beautiful kehillah. The next few years are crucial for our community. But I'm confident that we will, God willing, experience a growth in our shul, that many will flock to our community from near and far, and the reason is right here in this room. If you look around the room this evening and you can feel the palpable energy, the excitement of our shul that's growing and just budding. It's just the very beginning. And it's that energy that we all feel here together this evening that is the proof that our community will certainly grow. We are a community that empowers individuals. We are a community that builds our klal. But the truth is, there is one final step that we left out from how Moshe Rabbeinu himself became the leader that he was meant to be. HaKadosh Baruch Hu turns to Moshe, and after the 5 tools, after the 5 strategies that we expressed before, after he had pushed Moshe to the brink of deciding to become a leader, Moshe steps back and says, you know what, Hashem, I don't think I can do it. You made a great point, but I'm still not ready. I can't speak properly. I can't lead on my own. So HaKadosh Baruch Hu turns to Moshe and he says, you have your brother Aaron, who's always standing here with you. He will be your number 2. He will be your guide. He will be the one to help you through those dark times when you feel like you can't communicate your message to the community and to the world. And with the brotherhood that the 2 of you share, that is how you will accomplish all that I've set before you. It's that exact 6th step that we too have to utilize in our community. I myself will never grow the Merrick community. Every individual in this room will never be able to grow the Merrick community. It is simply by doing this together, brother and sister, hand in hand, uniting to grow the beautiful Merrick community. If we do it together, if we do it with a sense of brotherhood and recognition that none of us can do it alone, then God willing, we'll be able to experience many years of growth together. Because the truth is, if we are a united Merrick community, if our young Israel of Merrick stands together as one, there is nothing that we cannot accomplish. Thank you, and enjoy the rest of your evening.